The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. Hang murderers. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout moun haïtien, como ye. God save the Queen. Freedom!
Today is, of course, Friday the 20th of October 2016. Broadcasting live from ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas, welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And of course, I'm a member of the local Christian Catholic community. I welcome the thousands of people joining me here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and of course, around the world. Well, folks, I today am playing a new role. I am playing investigative journalism. You know, I'm not a journalist, and my producers, the clock is remaining at 4. I just want you to know it because I don't want to run out of time. Okay? So fix the clock. So today, I'm taking on a new personality. I'm playing investigative journalism. And I'm investigating Frankie Alfred Campbell. He's the Minister of Transport. Today, I have been trying to consult the United Nations on missing Haitian children between 1960 and 2017. I am out to ask the United Nations to assist me in determining whether or not the Transport Minister might have been missing between 1960 and 2017, because I'm receiving lots of intelligence. I also will ask the Parliament for a parliamentary investigation into the minister, because I'm beginning to believe that something is wrong. I'm going to also give you a story about how in Haiti it is their serious allegation that the Bahamas Embassy was selling Bahamian passport. Tell you that. I'm also going to warn the Bahamas that at a point when the passport was selling, and I'm not accusing him of any crime, for I know he is a law-abiding citizen, but it is important to note that while Frankie Campbell was serving in the Bahamas Embassy, other people is alleged to have been selling the passport there. So I need the Parliament to investigate, and I need decent Lisa Johnson to turn to page 14 of the FNM Manifesto. And at page 14, there's a photograph of the leader and now Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert A. Minnis, with Lisa Johnson, the chargé d'affaires. Every FNM can now speak to the Americans and not be accused of any sin, because she is in our manifesto. Today, I am an investigative journalist, and I'm out to find out who is Frankie Campbell.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker, and of course, I have a special guest. I'm going to introduce them, and then I've asked him to just bear with me because I have to do some revelation this Friday. But ladies and gentlemen, my special guest this afternoon is a PLP candidate in the upcoming convention election. I'm going to introduce you, and of course, let me welcome Mr. Alex Starr. Please show Mr. Starr, people. Alex, give me a bump.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monker.
All right. I want you to bear with me, eh?
Okay, no
because
problem at
there are
all.
some developing things taking place, and I have to tell the people them.
Well,
okay?
you know I'm a regular viewer of your show, and I know your style, and I'm right here to just fit in and gel with you. I won't disturb you at all.
Man, I just like you. I think I'm going to bring you back.
Okay.
You ain't got no ego, and you understand.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a serious thing taking place. I continue to receive threats of death from the same general of the Prime Minister. And I asked Dr. Minnis, I don't want no trouble. Please speak to Paul Willie. I asked his family, please speak to your brother. I asked his children, please speak to your dad. Please. It's something that has to be fundamentally wrong. That he goes to a place where I have breakfast, and when I leave, so many senior men call me to tell me, watch out, Paul is threatening to kill you or to have you killed. Now, for Jesus' sake, you all don't bother with him. I ain't asking nobody to do anything to him. Nothing physical. I'm not asking that. I don't want nobody to go to hell for me or jail. But if you know Paul Willie, point out to Paul Willie. Paul Willie, 1, you are the general of the Prime Minister. 2, the Prime Minister gave you a wonderful job in charge of the whole of Arawak. 3, he gave you a red plate. And Arawak is a place that I frequent. Why is this man telling people he can kill me? And I ain't do him nothing. I ain't do him nothing. Yesterday, he showed up. One man said I must shake hand with him. He extended his hand. I shook his hand. But today, I leave. And more distinguished citizens call me. They say, boy, watch out. Paul is talking about you getting killed. I ain't do Paul nothing. Why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? Paul Willie, I want you to stop it. He's also told them, this is what they reported to me, at least 3 senior citizens, that Paul say he wants me to do an investigation on him, the same way I did on Frankie. So today, I'm going to show him how good I am. Paul, when your father came to the Bahamas, his surname was not Willie. You heard what I just said? When your daddy came to the Bahamas, his surname was not Willie. Now, having said that to you, back off. I'm not dealing with you because you're not a member of parliament. You cannot be associated with a prime minister and is threatening to kill me. I don't want to die. I don't want nobody to injure me. Please stop it. Paul family, tell Paul to stop threatening my life. Please. I have no beef with him. I regret that him and Frankie Campbell have a common sibling. I regret that. I'm not doing anything that is unlawful. I'm merely examining the documents that Frankie produced to see whether or not he is qualified. This has to do with the rule of law. Paul, let me warn you again. Stop threatening my life. I do you nothing. I don't want to kill you. I don't want to harm you. I don't want to do you nothing. Stop telling people. I'm a 60-year-old man. I don't want you to be telling people you're going to kill me. I don't want to die. I don't want to be killed. And I don't want to kill you. Please stop it. Please. Dr. Minnis, you are the Prime Minister. You cannot run a party of gangsters. And let me tell you why I take it seriously. 1972, the F&M killed a member. And I'm a member of the F&M. They took him in the back of Paul truck. They held a kangaroo court. They didn't allow him to call witnesses. They did not allow him to call someone to speak on his behalf. And when it was over, they executed this man in 1972. And now, in 1977, Paul Billy threatened me by myself. He then threatened me in the presence of noted attorney Wayne Monroe. And this morning, when I left the area, I got calls from men, responsible men, who said, boy, Monka, I know what you do, Paul Billy. But Paul Billy said, if you don't leave this Frankie Campbell matter, you are going to be killed. All right? Paul, man, stop it. If you are the brother of Paul Billy, speak to him. If you are the sister of Paul Billy, speak to him. If you are the children of Paul Billy, speak to him. And let me tell you what is terrible about this. There was a court order for the police to immediately arrest him and take him to Foxhill Prison. And I sent for him because I was asked to assist because the police were intimidated in carrying out a court order because of his closeness to the Prime Minister. And I told them, give me the court order. And I sent for him. And he came and I showed it to him. I said, listen, Paul, you know who you are? You are a general of the Prime Minister. You have this big-time job at Arawak. Why don't you do what the courts say? Other than that, I'm going to have to call the police and ensure that they take you to Foxhill Prison. I was a friend. I didn't try to embarrass him. I kept that silent. And I'm only speaking about it because the man is continuing to threaten my life. What kind of country this is that I could be threatened? Paul, stop it, please. Paul family, speak to him. Prime Minister Minnis, speak to Paul. Marvin James, you're the Minister of National Security. Speak to him. Please speak to him. That's it. Now, folks, the investigation into Frankie Campbell continues. But before I deal with that, I have breaking news. I'm advised, and I verily believe, that Brensel Roll, a friend of the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram and myself, has met at the BPCOU Union Hall, I think on Farrington Road. I'm advised, I've not been able to get him to answer the phone, that he held 2 meetings, one in the morning and one in the evening. And he has informed the workers that it is the intention of the government that by the end of the month, meaning October, a decision will be made to terminate 1,700 people. Well, I just want you to know, I'm not sure if I should curse him out, because those of you who are complaining and being fired and threatening and receiving threats to be fired, when I organize march, y'all don't come. So the question is, why should I curse out Brensel for y'all if y'all are not willing to stand up? I've further been advised that those who attended the afternoon meeting were more aggressive and more responsive to the threat to terminate 1,700 workers. What kind of heart these people got, man? That they can fire 1,700 workers. The only thing I can say to you is that you have to resist it peacefully. And what do I mean? You have to organize your support. You have to march and demonstrate. You have to wage a political battle against Dr. Minnis and the F&M. 1,700 citizens. It is sad that this is going to happen. And then Brother Hasty from the Church of Christ today in the city of New Providence appeared before me a Negro female. And I don't like the way you all are treating her. And Hasty, I don't want to declare that you are an unsaved man. My God, can't you give poor black people an opportunity that if they have a bill and they come and add little money, right? You mean to tell me you can't extend the time? Because a Negro lady admitted to me that she owes BEC, whatever they call it, BPL now. And she went forth and paid a little something on it, right? And promised them she will return the following Monday. But the Monday she paid, the Wednesday of the same week, with her old 75 or 76-year-old father there, they went and they turned off the light. These things aren't fair. And these are the Negro people who ministers promise to liberate economically. But my God, he is treating them worse. And he's treating Dominica best and better. We are in trouble. Dr. Minnis has a policy of hog heart. Hog heart. Okay? And if I was talking to the Haitian people, I would say, policy, Monsieur Minnis, que cochon. Hog heart. That is what is taking place. And I'm tired of people complaining to me. And when I give you an opportunity to carry out peaceful political expression, you wouldn't show up. Well, he's going to fire 1,700 people. And Brensel Roll will be the fall guy. But Brensel ain't got no power on his own to fire 1,700 Negroes. But men say, y'all is the people he love. Y'all are the people he's going to liberate. All right? That's what we are faced with. I'll talk some more about it because there are so many things on my mind. But I am now taking a new twist because I'm aware. In fact, it has been brought to my attention today as I continue to carry out an investigation to uncover how did Frankie slip through the crack. And I've been advised, one, that Frankie ought to be encouraged by the Parliament to do a DNA test so that we can determine whether or not his mother is biologically his mother. And when I was told that, I said, why? I believe it's his mother. And then I was told a Haitian secret that I long had forgotten, that there have been many, many wonderful, beautiful children who have been kidnapped and taken out of the country. And as we look at what is going on, taking into consideration that according to Frankie's affidavit, one, he was born in 1967, and he had a sibling born in 70 and 73 whose birth were registered in 78, both of them. Why is it that by denying the registration of his birth, it demonstrates a lack of emotional attachment to him? It lacks that. And these things are coming up. These speculation, because Frankie is led by a political coward who will not say to him, listen, man, the evidence is huge. Do the honorable thing and resign. All right? Do the honorable thing and resign. Because notwithstanding Paul's really threats against my life and the allegation that he wants me to investigate him, I have commenced it, Paul. Your father, when he came to the Bahamas, his surname was not Willie. You heard me? It was not Willie. I'm prepared to stand down on that one. I'm prepared to back off, Paul, assuming you leave me alone. Stop threatening me. You are a civil servant. consultant hired by Dr. Minnis. You heard me? Let me tell you, stop it. All right? Stop it. This is a gunshot politically across your bow. When your daddy came to the Bahamas, he was not a Willie. And now, Paul, I will say it to you in Creole. Est-ce que vous connaissez un pile pep moi yo, connais moi, and connais famille yo. Yo parle ak moi, le moi ale, kay gramoun garçon pouti. Paul Willie promised pour tirer moi. And ma pape swear, pour nous, pour tirer moi. Pour qui ça? Ouvrez, tirer-moi, tirer-moi. Gardez pour moi. Gardez pour moi. Parce que m'a gain, même sans ou gain. Not saying of that. I just told him that the same Haitian blood he has, I got. I just told him, I don't want to be killed. I don't want nobody to tuer moi, to kill me. I've just told him that. And he must stop threatening my life. I've never threatened his life. I don't threaten people's life. You don't like what I'm saying? Don't watch the TV. All right? And then we have another FNM who, on Facebook, is trying to get Sabatstem to fire me. So there's another conspiracy. Minister, did you know? That man from Sanibel Food Store, that was my grocery money. And when Minister discovered that, he told Sanibel Food to cut the ad. I had to curse the man out. And then he bring it back for after a couple of months. And then he say, listen, I'm so sorry. I have to discontinue. That's Minister with his wicked victimization. But I will tell them, there shall be no turning back. Because the parliament must be protected. And the FNM continue to run a gangster organization, but I got them. And so today, Lisa Johnson, listen to me. I'm a former senator. I'm a justice of the peace. I'm a member of the FNM. And I'm telling you, based on the protection of the manifesto, in which you are on page 14, it means that every FNM could reveal confidential state secret. I no spy. My leader is here. There he is, Lisa. Take notes, because I shall go to the embassy in Haiti, where they sold, Lisa, according to the intelligence, they were selling Bahamian passport. Selling. Don't trust this, Lisa. Don't trust it. Tell President Trump, I say so. Don't trust it. Don't trust it, Lisa. Your security is at risk. This is Freedom March. I'll be right back after the break.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. Views and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker, and of course, my special guest, who I will engage in a few minutes, is Mr. Alex Storr. Alex Storr, once again, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you for having me, Rodney. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm going to come to you shortly, eh?
I patiently wait.
Okay. Folks, on the 10th of October, as I continue to play investigative journalism, because Candia Dames, she's intimidated and demoralized. She can't do this investigation. Well, today, the Tribune, having seen that the Punch has led the way in assisting me in exposing this egregious problem in our parliament, the Tribune finally came aboard. But I told you how I had taken all the documents to the Tribune. But praise the Lord, buy yesterday Punch and get today's Tribune and read the story. Well, on the 10th of October, I wrote the Princess Margaret Hospital demanding to inspect a book that I believe exists that codifies for the hospital to write the sex and the mother of every child born within the island of New Providence. And so they in turn sent the letter to the Public Hospital Authority. And on the 13th of October, 3 days later, they wrote me. I want to read it because I want to show Candia, who thinks she knows how to do investigative journalism, and the Tribune, how it is done. And I wasn't trained, you know. I'm just playing it. I'm playing investigative journalism. So I have a letter from the Public Hospital Authority Corporate Center. It is dated October 13, 2017. And it goes like this, and I quote, Mr. Rodney Monker, Justice of the Peace, Nassau, Bahamas. Dear sir, reference, inspection of maternity ward, medical records, registers. Your communication dated the 10th October 2017 refers, grateful if you would direct your query to the Registrar General's Department, who is the keeper of the public register of births in the Bahamas for public institutions. Yours faithfully, Janet E. Hall, Miss, Legal Advisor, Litigation. Now it is to note that she doesn't say, I'm not letting you look at it. She directs me to the Registrar General, who, according to her, has the registers. And by that, it must mean the book that the maternity ward is to keep and record when children are born. Now, I'm aware, as a historian and a man who searches the archives, that there are many registers. When they become too old, they are either sent to the Registrar General's Department or the Department of Archives. And I want to warn the Public Hospital Authority and the Princess Margaret Hospital and the Registrar General's Department, it is a criminal offense to interfere with those documents. I just want you all to know, because I am aware it's a gangster country. And I call on citizens at the Princess Margaret Hospital, at the Public Hospital Authority, at the Registrar General's Department. I call upon you, if you have any evidence or if you become aware that they are interfering with the records, come see me quietly and tell me, because a national security matter has taken place, and Menace, as Minister of National Security, is not dealing with it. And I want the United States government to know that in Haiti, under the FNM, we sold all kind of passport. And I want a commission to investigate all of this, because I do not put any blame or aspersion, but we all know that at the period in which this took place, Frankie was down there. And I'm not accusing him. And I bring that up because by 2012, when he applied for a nomination, that was the same period in which he lodged for record his birth certificate. I'm not saying the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram. He's not said anything to me. He's not sent anybody to me. But you know, I'm a man who goes into trance. And in my trance, I asked the question, Papa, why did you deny Frankie a nomination? But it's a gangster F&M. It's a gangster F&M. All we're trying to do is to protect the integrity of the parliament and to make sure that anyone who goes to an election is qualified in accordance, one, of the Constitution and any other law. All right? And the evidence is there. Yet Menace pussyfooted. Yet Marvin Dames, Marvin knows that these are bogus. But they're embarrassed because the Royal Bahamas Police Force, with all the CID and SIB, Frankie slipped through the crack. All right? Now, Lisa Johnson, I'm a citizen of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and I want you to know that I've received intelligence of massive fraud. And may the Americans be careful when you come in contact with a nation whose passport can be granted to people who are not a citizen. Because this is how terrorism began. Because once I can get the passport of a sovereign nation, I can do all kind of foolishness. All right? And I'm not accusing any Pacific citizen. I merely tell you what the intelligence are. Lisa Johnson, help me to flush this out because there's a national security threat. And they're trying to kill me now. Getting threats from Paul Willie. He says it to my face. He tells me it in front of my lawyer. He goes to my breakfast place. And all the senior men, he's threatening my life and I ain't do him nothing. I ain't do him nothing. I ain't threaten him. But he wants me to stand down. Why should I stand down? We're trying to clean up. Menace has revealed to the nation that he's trying to clean up corruption. But he don't mean this one. Because Frankie is his boy. And all he got to do is make Frankie a citizen. All right? But they have me to deal with. Because I know I'm on the right track. Because, I don't want to exaggerate it, many citizens are telling me what is taking place. And it's a simple matter. All right? And before I bring on my guests, please don't get upset. This is why I don't bother with guests. But you're a good man. When I was in the Senate, yes, you allowed me to have 2 and 3 pieces of meat.
Yes, sir.
Including your meat.
Yes, sir.
This is powerful. That piece of chicken you gave me when I said, listen, I had a good meal.
Yes.
May I have your chicken? I'll
yes,
never
sir.
forget that. All right? Now, there is a light-skinned Negro male who lives on the island of Grand Bahama. His name is Patrick Pinder. And this is what the Negro wrote. It is disgraceful. ILTV is giving Rodney Monka a platform to attack most of the government officials. It is downright degrading and a shame. Rodney Monka have no respect and parades around like a mentally crazy person. Is the people at ILTV behind his behavior towards government official? Because you people see nothing wrong with Rodney Monka. When the facts are that I was attacking the F&M from it was in opposition. And there's no fun in attacking the PLP. They got booted out. But there's more fun and more evidence of corruption and gangsterism. I want y'all to stop it in Jesus' name. Because I ain't do y'all nothing. I ain't do y'all nothing. This is public policy. And we are debating whether or not the Honorable Minister of Transport, Frankie Campbell, has a lawful right to sit in the Parliament of the Bahamas. And I have all the evidence. He does not have any right. All right? He does not. I regret that. And he should resign. He should do the honorable thing because he's causing me to open up. And finally, I want the country to know that there has been an attempt to set me up to commit a crime. But I'm 60. And when those appeared before me to get me to commit the crime, the Spirit of God told me, read and read good. But there are whitelist policemen in the country. I'm a justice of the peace. And under Section 5 of the Magistrate Act, the law says that if I see a criminal offense committed in my presence, that the nearest peace officer is to lawfully obey me when I say, arrest the person. But these lousy policemen, they're playing politics, and that's why you have all this crime in the country. It is my hope and prayer that the minister responsible for national security will tell every policeman to be sensible. And if a responsible justice of the peace says, listen, this person has committed an offense in my presence, arrest them. The police is to arrest them, take them to the nearest police station, and invite the justice of the peace to come and explain so that the law can be followed. I only want to say it. I shall not reveal the identity of those whom I have spoken, but I shall be able to show the country why the level of crime is so great, because those who ought to do their jobs are not doing it. That's all I'm going to say. Please forgive me for that. Welcome to Freedom March.
Well, like I said, once again, it's a pleasure to be here. You know, we had a wonderful time serving in the Senate together, the short time you were there.
Yes.
And so it's always my pleasure to be here on your show.
Okay. So you are entering into the upcoming PLP convention election of officers. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. The convention starts this coming Sunday, the 22nd, with the prayer breakfast, and runs until the 25th, which is next week, Wednesday. I'll be offering myself. I'm now the current deputy chair, and I'll be offering myself for chairman of our great party.
You're gonna offer yourself.
Yes, I am.
This
yes,
is
I am.
powerful. Now, I'm a man who loves political action. I like to see a political party, when there is a political issue, organizing marches and demonstration. Can I get a commitment from you? Even though I'm an FNM, I'm leaning politically towards the PLP while holding on to my red shirt and my membership card. Can I get a commitment from you that should God bless you and you are successful as the chairman, that I will see a PLP that is committed to carrying out political action? And by that, I mean marches, demonstrations, and motorcades, while issuing a statement.
Yes, sir, Mr. Monka. And as a matter of fact, when it's time, I would be foolish to ignore your expertise. So when it's time for the PLP to rally and sally, I'll be calling upon you for your help.
Oh, praise the Lord. And the PLP is ready to do what?
To rally and sally.
This is powerful. Listen, he has my blessing. He has given me the magic word, rally and sally. So I can expect on powerful issues, marching and demonstration and motorcades. That's a commitment?
Yes, sir. That's the job of any good opposition. And right now we have a government that says it's the people's time, but what people are they talking about? And so it's the job of the PLP to stand in the gap for the people, and we'll do what we have to do to make sure that the people's needs are met.
I also want a commitment from you that if you can help the FNM to do the right thing, you will put aside the politics and say to the FNM, don't do it like this. This is wrong. Why don't you try this way? Can I get a commitment from you?
Well, you know, we all in the same boat together. Once the boat sinks, we all go down. And so if the PLP can help by offering suggestions, as we have already done, we will continue to offer suggestions to the FNM. Now, will they listen to the PLP? That's another matter.
I also need a commitment from you that when you hear that the FNM is going to fire 1,700 people, that you will offer to Dr. Minnis and the FNM good reasons why they should not fire the people down. Can I have that commitment?
Well, we have also heard the reports today and the rumors. We hope that it's not true. But we will step in and make sure that a loud outcry is given by the Progressive Liberal Party on behalf of the 700 employees if they are indeed fired.
I also want a commitment from you where you will show the FNM how to keep them working and paying them.
We will do whatever we can to make sure that Bahamians...
Look at camera 3.
We will do whatever we can to make sure that Bahamians are able to work and to put food on the table. Right now, we are in a repressed economy. We can't afford to have 17 new people added to the unemployment line. And so 1,700 new people added to the unemployment line. So we hope that the FNM will reconsider whatever plans they have in store for those persons.
But I would hope, see, listen to what I'm trying to get you to do. I want you to be able to talk to the FNM, and when you see that they're about to buck their toe and fax up the economy, you will pull them back and show them why they ought not to do so. You think I could get a commitment from you to do that?
Yes, sir. Well, my grandfather always said you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. We'll give them the information. We'll give them the alternative plans. It's up to them to follow it once they're presented.
I also need a commitment from you, Mr. Alexander Storr, that when you speak to the FNM as to how to solve the problem, you will speak truth to power.
Yes, sir. We believe in honest representation of the facts. You know, I think part of what has the FNM where they are is that they were in campaign mode and they may have stretched the truth and now they find themselves in a bind. And so we will always give an honest and a direct opinion on where we are and what needs to be done to the FNM. Like I said, we only can present the facts. It's up to them to follow it.
I also need another commitment. You see, I say FNM.
Yes.
And I realize that we're going the wrong way. Promise me that you will turn us around, even though it may cost you not to win the next election, because you would have helped them to solve the problem. But promise me that in view of the fact that Dr. Menace and the FNM are on the wrong track, you will point them to the right way. Promise me that.
We will do what is in the best interest of the country. But at the same time, that's a hard one you're asking me there. I'll tell you, like the preacher told us in church a couple of Sundays ago when I attended a church in Freeport with Mr. Ray Davis. He said, sometimes I have to hurt you to help you.
Well, as long as you are helping them. You see, I'm convinced that the PLP has the answer. But it's 5 years for me to starve. It's 5 years for the people to catch hell. I beg you to be honest and show the FNM the right way. My God, you must think could do that.
Yes, sir. That's what it's about. But like I said, we could give them the ideas, we could show them the facts, but they have to be willing to follow and cooperate with the opposition.
Be ye aware that if you were to point them in the right direction, and as the economy turn around, the people then will know, by grab, had it not been for Philip Brave Davis and his brave men, the country would have gone to hell. You see why you must do the right thing?
Yes, sir, I understand fully.
This is powerful. Now, what plans that you were thinking of when you become the chairman?
Well, first place we have to begin is with the rebuilding of our branches.
Okay.
The party branches are the lifeblood of any political organization.
Yes.
It's where you build your membership from. It's where you educate your people. It's where you arm them with the facts. And so the first place we have to begin is with restructuring, rebuilding, and modernizing our branches. Also, we have to regain the trust of the Bahamian people.
Yes.
We have to present faces that the Bahamian people know and they can depend on. I think with the team of Philip Bray Davis, I, Chester Cooper, myself as chairman, they'll have just that.
This is powerful. Now, I want to make a suggestion. It's not designed to embarrass you, but I'd like for the PLP to establish what I will call a little labor department at headquarters. So when the people then get fired or are faced with certain labor legal matter, they will know that help and hope is waiting on Farrington Road at the PLP headquarters. I want you to think about it. You don't have to give me a commitment, but the PLP got some wonderful lawyers. And there could be a period of time where the people could come and say, listen, Dr. Menace, them firing me. Help me.
Well, one of the things that we do have in mind is what we call a skills bank. I can't give you all the secrets because then you could take them to the FNM and help them to be a better party. But that's one of the ideas, a skills bank, so that we can know who our people are and what skills they represent and better help to represent them.
This is powerful. But while I may tell my party, right, I want you to look at this. There was a Negro man who was my colleague. And after many years, I recognized that my colleague was controlling me. And he was controlling me because he gave me positive ideas, good suggestion. He pointed me in the right direction. So I'm saying, do not be afraid to share good ideas. So I say to you, give the F&M the best ideas as you give them critical support.
Well, I think the more I hear you say, the more I start to understand is that the F&M is bankrupt of ideas and needs some help. And so if we have to provide the help, we're willing to do it.
Don't forget, they lost $42 million and it was sitting right there on the shelf.
Wow.
You follow my
Wow,
point?
yes, yes.
And I'm saying, what was the the PLP former State Minister for Finance?
Halkitis.
You have to
Michael
tell
Halkitis.
Halkitis that some weeks he should contact Peter Turnquest, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, and when Peter Turnquest say he ain't know where the money is, then Brother Ketis should go down there and show him where it is.
We may have to do that because it's obvious that they have some challenges going on in this present administration. They need some help.
And the danger in Halkitis not showing them, they can say you all thief it. Don't forget you all were accused of stealing $2 billion.
And then as soon as they got into office, they said, oh, we found it.
Right. And what is taking place now? Now that they have to fire a lot of people, my party has said they can't find the $42 million. And then after they recognize it was ridiculous, they say you all spent it on the campaign. How come nobody gave me that something, man?
Well, I was a part of the campaign, and I didn't have any of it either. So,
Wow.
you know, the F&M, they are quick to make accusations and just throw them out there and then come back and retract them later. It's part of the modus operandi of the F&M to hit the PLP with these accusations to try and paint a false perception of the PLP. And so we'll continue to combat it after I'm chairman.
I am hearing that they are investigating Fred Mitchell. They're accusing him of traveling to the UN, to America, and all over the world. If they should arrest Fred Mitchell and accuse him of going to the United Nations, are you prepared to organize hundreds of PLP to accompany him, because it's not against the law, to go and represent the Bahamas?
No, it's quite ridiculous. The name of the ministry is Foreign Affairs. And so right there, then and there, you know that most of the business done there may be out of the country. I think Minister Mitchell did an excellent job in representing the Bahamas abroad. He did a lot to raise our reputation. And I think that those accusations of the traveling and everything are just part of their campaign to paint a certain perception of the PLP. But as we have seen in these 5 months,
yes,
I think the F&M has done a lot of traveling and nobody's given an account for any of that. And we don't even hear what they have accomplished once they return.
Well, I would want to suggest that should Fred Mitchell be arrested for traveling, that you all would direct noted attorney Wayne Monroe to take out a private prosecution on Menace, Brent Simonet, and Hanfield, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, because they're doing a lot of flying and a lot of traveling.
Yes, they are. Yes,
you
they
don't
are.
find this whole exercise humorous?
I do, because it seems like they say one thing and then they do the exact same thing. I think that's just part of the crew that's been traveling, but I've heard at one time, I think 8 ministers were out of the country in a space of 1 week. But
Wow.
nobody has said what it is they have done or accomplished while they were away on the taxpayers' dime.
This is powerful. Papa, you see why you made a mistake when you allowed Menace to become Prime Minister? Now Menace is doing all kind of things. Papa, what this says? Menace is using Brentsell to fire 1,700 people. And Papa, if you don't stop him, Papa, listen to me. I know you love Brentsell. And if you don't stop Brentsell, Papa, I intend to curse him out. Because it's wrong. Papa, speak to Brentsell and tell him 1,700 Negroes unemployed is not a good thing. Papa, I blame it on you. Please save the workers. This is Freedom March. My special guest is Alex Starr. When I come back, I'll tell you something as I engage him. I'll be right back in a second.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. Praise the Lord. My spiritual advisor has finally returned to work. I thought the FNM might have been holding him hostage. Spiritual advisor. Praise the Lord, you are safe and sound. How are you?
I'm doing great, Mr. Monker.
Meanwhile, I need you to know that Paul Willie went to breakfast and told all the men, some of the most senior men called me, that if I don't stop, I'll be murdered.
Wow.
You need to speak to him.
You know what, Mr. Monker?
Yes?
I have a Bible class to teach tonight at the Harry Power Church of Christ at maybe 7:30 to 9. When I'm done with that Bible class, I would make it my personal interest to go and find Paul Willie and to speak to him from a biblical perspective to get him to understand that
Is he still a member of Miles Monroe Church?
No, he goes to a different church now.
Oh, no wonder he's backslide.
Well,
He must be possessed by seven demons.
I don't know. If you have Paul Willie cell phone number on your WhatsApp chat, Paul Willie sends out spiritual messages every morning.
But I want to stay far
You
from a
know,
man who's continuing to threaten my life, man.
Oh yeah, this is wrong, and I condemn that.
Come on, speak to him,
Publicly, I condemn any form of threats to anyone in this country, any Bahamian. Threats of death is wrong. It is against the law. If found guilty, you can spend 6 months in prison or you can pay a fine of $10,000. And I think Paul Willie is aware of that. So, Paul Willie, I publicly condemn you for that. You need to now try to make peace with Mr. Monker.
No. Just tell him stay far, don't kill me or put anybody up to kill me. I don't want to make peace with him.
But
I will stay far from him.
that's what it's all about, Mr. Monker.
My spiritual advisor, you took me to a ritual yesterday to shake the man's hand.
Was it yesterday or the day before?
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Where? Remember the picture you all took in McDonald's?
Yeah, that was yesterday.
No, it wasn't yesterday.
When was it?
Today is Friday. It may have been Wednesday, I think.
Whatever day it was.
And you know what? Let's set the record straight on that, Mr. Monker. Let's set the record straight on that. One of Frankie Campbell's general was the one who set that photo up. I just happened to be there and take that photo, remember?
But I don't know who's Frankie General. But in any event,
Remember.
please
All right?
ask him to stay far from me and stop
Mr.
threatening
Monker, I agree
my
with you. This is
life.
wrong. This is wrong.
I've done him nothing.
I think
He also told people that he wants me to investigate him like how I did Frankie. So I fired the first political shot. I told him that his daddy, when he came to the Bahamas, was not a Willie.
Well, don't do that.
What the heck you mean don't do that?
What I'm saying is this. Don't add fuel to a fire. When you do that, you only look for an explosion. All right? So the best thing to do now is let me go and speak with Paul Willie. Let's see if we can settle this matter quickly before it gets to a police matter.
Before I ask Minister, fire him. Because he's linked to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is not supposed to have a man who's up and down with him, threatening to kill an opponent, a political opponent.
Let's seek peace first, eh?
And you know, Mr.
But I'm
Monker,
peaceful. Go ahead,
if I
brother.
can interject,
Yes.
because as spiritual advisor, we must take this issue seriously.
I do.
Especially
I
in
do.
your role as spiritual advisor,
I do.
because conflict resolution is one of the greatest challenges we have in our
the
country
country,
today.
I believe that.
And you know, things can start lightly
Like this.
and then escalate to where the fact of somebody getting hurt. So I think I got a text just a few minutes ago saying that there was another murder in Freeport. Right now, murders in the country have surpassed the level that we passed last year. And so I think we're at 114, 115 now. So we must take these issues seriously and try and stop them from escalating before they get out of control.
And
Okay, I agree.
a record of the FNM will show that every time the FNM is power, the murder rises. The murder rises. And this man is telling people. All right? And I'm tired of it because I've not done him anything. All right? And why would the Prime Minister of the Bahamas have a man in his immediate cycle doing threats of murder when the FNM has a history of killing its own supporters? When we took the adjournment, I got a call from a Negro man who said to me that I said that 1,700 people will be fired by Batelco. If I did say that, that was a mistake. I thought I said that in the government service, Branson Roll met, when did I say, yesterday or today?
Today, but I think he may have made a mistake because you said it was at the BCPOU Union Hall. So that may be what threw you off guard.
Okay. So it was at BCPOU, but these were not Batelco workers. These were government workers. So I apologize if you misunderstood me. All right? So that is what is taking place here. There was another issue that I wanted to deal with, but in view of the fact it slipped my memory, let me just say something. I have a friend by the name of Edmund Big Back Bullitt, and he died on the 4th of October this year. And tomorrow there will be a memorial services for him at the Church of God, Greater Chipman, Greater Chippingham. Let me say it again. Edmund Bullitt there'll be a memorial service for him Saturday, October 21st, 2017 at the Church of God, Greater Chippingham. That's number 19 Eden and Rosebud Street. Bishop Dennis Carl Lafreniere will officiate, and he was cremated, if I'm reading this correctly. And I expect all of the young men of Big Pond and Blackvillage to show up at the funeral tomorrow. And that funeral is scheduled for 11 a.m. And for those of you after the funeral, well, don't forget St. Agnes, they're having a fair. And my auntie, Joyce Monker, would love for everybody to come there. If I have it correct, Her Blessed Excellency, Dame Margaret, will open it up officially, I think, at 2 a.m. But y'all get there from about 11 or 12 o'clock. Because, you know, I want to make sure that everybody attends. So you say there's reports out of Grand Bahama that there was a murder.
Yes, yes.
Goodness me. I mean, the FNM is in trouble. While an FNM is threatening my dad in Nassau, they've killed, was it a male?
I think it was a male.
Wow.
Yes. You know, it's greater than just the FNM because crime pays no respect to any political party, and we all are in danger. And I know the Minister of National Security, sometime shortly after the general elections when he was appointed, I heard him on ZNS very clearly said that he had the answers, and that he practically said that he could stop crime before it happened.
Of course he can
I
stop
asked
it.
him, whatever plan this is he has that can stop murders before they happen, that he please put it into immediate effect without further delay, because many of our brothers and sisters are losing their lives on the street. Families are being ripped apart, and we need to put a stop to this.
You are quite correct. And I want you to hear my position on it. Crime is political, because I even couldn't get a police to obey a lawful order when I saw a crime. But let them go ahead. I can take them to court the next time. In the newspaper, I note that a Negro father yesterday accused the Ministry of Education of contributing to the murder of his son. There's always been this strange problem, Alex, even under the PLP, where parents go and say, listen, this school is too far from where my son is. And the principal, you see, I could accuse Carl Bettel. I'm the only man who could accuse Carl Bettel, because I took him through a social experimentation. All right? And parents would say, we don't want our son there for this reason. And everybody become insensitive. These Negroes don't come up with a strategy to help you. As a result of it, a Negro father and mother was able to tell the school, our son will be killed. And that didn't mean nothing to the Negro people. But today, we have a man by the name of Jeff Lloyd. And he says school not to blame for gang violence. This is a man who the Roman Catholic Church encouraged to lead a social program because of the elevation of crime in schools and in the city. But this Negro man with the bald head now comes and say it ain't so. Where he living? Where he living? We always had problems with crime, with gangs in school. And sometimes with teachers participating. I'll give you a story. I'm a former student of C.C. Sweeting. We had an art teacher. Him and the boys used to get together and they smoked their little dope. Leonard Archer was the principal. All sorts of nonsense took place. All right? I don't want to run on too much because these people is playing decent. And they get mad when I go into my memory bank and talk it. All right? What Jeff is supposed to do? What you defending the school for? If parents are telling it to you, go investigate. Now, the Tribune boldly wrote, right? Almost as if it wants to incite violence at the school. Pupils threaten revenge attack. All right? What is this? Huh? What is this? Huh? When the PLP came up with a policy, I can let you talk again, but I have to case them out. When the PLP came up with a policy to put police in schools, the FNM was critical. They said they don't want no police in the school. And as soon as the FNM came to power, in the last previous administration, Greenslade knew what he had to do. Because Papa didn't want no police in the school. So Greenslade pulled them out. The next thing we know, a whole Negro student was murdered at C.C. Sweeting. Now, I'm not sure if it was under the PLP or under the FNM, but it took place. We are in trouble because men like Jeff Lloyd are weak-kneed, weak-back, apologetic Negroes. That's what it is. That is what it is.
I agree, Mr. Lloyd, though.
What about Mr. Lloyd?
How do you blame schools for gang violence? How do you do that? How do you blame the schools for that? Look at what's happened, all right? Here we have a situation where a young man was murdered, right? And as it is right now, we understand that the students are getting ready, and they've been interviewed by the newspapers, by the, I think it's either the Guardian or the Tribune, and they say they're getting ready to attack. They're getting ready to revenge his death. Now, how do you blame the school for that?
What is Jeff doing about it?
Mr. Monka?
What is Jeff doing about it?
Mr. Monka, the school systems is designed,
Go ahead, Mr.
no matter where they are.
I agree with the spiritual advisor that the schools are not at fault, but the schools are where these children are, and they can do something
What
about
do you
it.
mean the school is not at fault?
No, they may not cause the gang violence,
How
but,
you know that?
but the children are within the schools, and there's something that can be done by the
So,
schools.
what do we teach our students? What do we tell them?
Where do you have to look at now at if you have these gangs, you need to start separating them and making sure that they're not in the same schools together. We have to look at things that we have to do, but we can't just sit there, watch our youth kill each other. And I was very shocked to see the Tribune print what they printed today, because number one, it saddened me to see the things that our youth are saying about each other and planning to do with each other. But now you put that in print. You say that his friends are going to retaliate. And so now those that did it are ready to retaliate against them because of what they saw in the newspaper today. And I think that was in poor taste.
So it has to be diffused.
It has to be.
Yeah, so now what does the school do?
What school? What does Jeff do? What does he do?
Okay, what you want him to do, Mr. Monka?
I want him to stop the violence, and when parents come to the school and say, listen, this is too far from where we live. My son will be killed. That was a cry for help. If a parent enters a school and say, listen here, please transfer my son to C.C. Sweeting in an area where he will be safe, because at this school, he will be a part of the controversy and he will get killed. That was a cry for help. But these insensitive Negroes They don't look for a method to help. What do? They always say how. And I could give you an example.
So do we know if that avenue was looked at or if something happened that caused it?
The avenue was not looked at. Because if the avenue was looked at, they would have done what the fathers say and transferred the Negro student.
Okay, so why did the Ministry of Education transfer him to C.I. Gibson?
No, but it goes back to what I was saying to you earlier.
Why did they do it?
Because from primary school, you go to another school. And the parents are saying, listen, we want him to go to C.C. Sweeting.
Right.
They didn't do it.
Why not?
Because they are insensitive. Carl Bettel has an example where a little black Haitian girl was living across the road. And her Haitian mother wanted to go to Oaksville. The principal didn't like Haitian. She thought the girl was black and ugly. Right? So I had to get Carl and Mr. Newbold to transfer the girl far from her school. Let Carl Bettel deny it. And that was a little baby child. All right? Let Carl deny it. Go ahead.
And as I was saying, when these accusations, when these complaints are made, they have to be taken seriously and acted upon immediately. This is not the same Bahamas that we lived in 15, 20 years ago, where these things may be blow. I know when you and I and even Mr. Monk, when we were coming up in school, you may have a fight with somebody and then you shake hands and that's over with.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it seems that once they have a fight, they fight every time they see each other. So when a parent comes with a complaint as such, I think that it should be acted upon immediately. I don't know if they have space in other schools, but to separate and intervene or even increase police presence at the school is something that's needed to make sure that we see a discontinuation of these crimes.
You're right.
Of these, we're losing a generation. And right now, I think there's some reports saying that that women far outnumber men in the country. If we continue to see these crimes escalate and these killings take place at such a rate, soon there'll be no man for our women.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Absolutely.
And I want the spiritual advisors to stop supporting Jeff.
No.
Listen to me.
That has nothing to do with that.
While Jeff taught you in school,
Mr. Lloyd,
I know Jeff learned better than you.
Yeah, but
Mr. Le Papa Li Mouri, I pa kone sa. Paske I pa cheke pou Papa Li. Vazinye. Rene Li pou di. Papa Santi. Koli Santi. Map kone. And bunde kone.
Mr. Monka,
pale sevwe.
don't let spite and anger permeate your heart, man.
Yes,
all right?
no spite.
Because then you would not be fair.
But
if
I'm
you
fair.
allowed it to happen.
So you're saying to me that the buck doesn't stop with him?
The buck.
He's the minister responsible for
schools,
education?
Yes.
And the buck doesn't stop with him? Goodness of mercy.
Oh, you got a call in line.
Hello? Welcome to Freedom Match. Hello? Hello? Coupe Saa.
Hello.
Hello, my dear. How are you?
Good afternoon, Mr. Monk, and to your guest.
Good afternoon.
How are you all doing?
Fine. Good
Mr.
afternoon.
Monk, I hear you all talking about this situation. You know, we talk about crime and violence and all these sorts of things. At one point in time in your show, you alluded to the fact that you've been threatened, your life has been threatened.
Yes.
By an adult.
Yes.
You see? So when an adult threatens the life of another adult, see, children mimic behavior.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
On one hand, you were telling the children that they should not practice violence and they shouldn't threaten people, but it's being done, on the other hand, to adults.
Yes.
I hope, Mr. Monk, that you will take this matter seriously. And I heard what the spiritual advisor said, and I applaud you today, Mr. Roll, when you said you will try and find the gentleman and speak to him from a biblical perspective.
Yes, ma'am.
But we must take common sense to high places.
Absolutely.
About 10 years ago, you know, this little girl said to me, she said, Mom, this country changed. Say, people will kill you for kidnap now. And I never forgot it. And in that child's mind, she felt that people did not value life, that someone will kill you for kidnap. And it's serious. I never forgot that. So I hope that you all don't take these things lightly. You know?
Absolutely.
But my grandma always said, beg your pardon, don't mean to pay, and sorry, can't bring nobody back. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. We need to practice peace in this land.
Absolutely.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Amen.
You all have a blessed weekend.
You do the same.
God bless you, and God save the Queen.
God save the Queen.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Hello, welcome to Freedom Match.
Yeah, good afternoon, Senator, and all your guests. How you all doing today?
We're doing great. How about
Yeah,
yourself?
the question I would like to ask, yesterday a gentleman said that he was in school with Mr. Frankie Campbell at R.M. Bailey. If he born in 1967 and in 1983 he get an affidavit, how was he able to get to the first of all the prep school, which called Sam Sand School or Eastern Junior or Eastern Senior? How was he able to get into the school from the beginning at the age of 5 and then end up in R.M. Bailey and then get his affidavit in 1983? How was he able to get through all these schools? That's what I'd like to find out. How would it happen in this Bahamas if he didn't present birth certificate at the age of 5 when he went in school, at the first time in school?
I thank you very much for that wonderful question. Hello, welcome to Freedom Match. Hello, welcome. Yes?
How are you?
Right here, my dear.
I would like... Hello?
I'm listening.
Okay, Mr. Monka, I'd like to say hello to you and your guest, Mr. Alex Storr.
Good afternoon.
PLP all the way.
Thank you very
And
much.
I'd also like to say hello to the spiritual advisor.
How you doing?
Spiritual advisor,
Hey.
I'm going to tell the truth. I really love your spirit. I believe you're a man of fair play. Now, what I want to say with the crime situation is that it takes a village to raise a child.
Oh, hallelujah.
And I think that all of us need to play our role.
Absolutely.
The church need to play their role. The boys' brigade, the girls' brigade, the brownies, the political organizations, the schools and the teachers need to be exemplary personnel. We all need to put a hand in raising the children. A lot of children are coming from single home parents, and they are working hard, and they don't have sufficient time to be in the in the home, to raise these children. And so therefore we are having a problem with our children, especially our boys. Our girls are probably having problems too. They're having babies and all that stuff very early. And so you have children raising children.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you are having a problem in this country.
Yes, ma'am.
I can tell you, children do not go to Sunday school or Sabbath school anymore, where they learn the fundamental of the Bible, of God's Word.
Amen.
They do not go to church. On Sunday morning, you see children lifting baskets from the wash house. That never was seen in our days. If you're recalling 20, 30 years ago, you never saw that. But today, that is allowed. That's the order of the day.
Well,
we need to go back to Bethel, like the Bible says.
I think you made your point. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Monka,
yes.
Mr. Monka, I am one of the women's them.
Oh,
I'm going
praise
to tell
the
you,
Lord.
I love you with my whole heart. I think that God has raised you up in such a time as this to be a voice crying in the wilderness on behalf of the disenfranchised Bahamian people. Frankie Campbell needs to go and get his record straight. And someone needs to bring it up at the House of Assembly. Somebody needs to be bold and say, go and get it straight. If he has to resign his post, resign his post.
Or
come clean.
Somebody,
come clean.
Or somebody needs to be brave.
Yes, sir.
Take it there, my love. I thank you for those
and
kind
Mr.
words.
Alex Storr, we're looking forward to the convention. I will be there live if God spare my life in living color. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend, everybody.
You do the same.
You do the same, caller. Thank you.
Very powerful call. Absolutely. Very powerful.
The department at the Princess Margaret Hospital, the X-ray people, they complained to me, you know, my wife is sick, and they said, listen, we're working hard and we can't get no increase. Dr. Dwayne Sands, I say give them an increase if you have to print the money. And then, of course, I was talking to the general workers at the Princess Margaret Hospital, and they are concerned over some of the places that we are keeping our patients. And I said, well, help me find one. And they said in the general practice area, nothing takes place there. Dr. Sands, I need you to turn that into a ward. And I need you to find the general workers their uniform. They are complaining to me. All right? And so find them some uniform, open up the general practice area, and let's turn them into wards and beds. And every of them, let's get together and help the party by donating a little bit to that area. This is Freedom March. The government is upon my shoulder. I'm not Emmanuel, but Jeff Lloyd don't know what he's doing. He pussyfooted, and that's why Papa closed down the program in Andres. I'll be right back. Papa!
Do you have something to say to the senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. My spiritual advisor is here, Bradley Roll. And then, of course, I have a special guest, Alex Starr. He and I was fortunate to serve with him for a short period in the Senate. And listen to me, I am satisfied that in terms of his contribution, he rose beyond party politics. And if it has any value, I declare him today a nation builder. Alex Starr, welcome once again to Freedom March.
Thank you, Mr. Monker, and thank you for that glowing description. Yes, I tried my hardest because, you know, we all in this country together. PLP, FNM, we all live together.
Well, I'm going to test you. Do you know Mavis Latusma?
Yes, sir.
Well, once again, Mavis, I beg you, your dad, Philip Johnson, has sent a message. He said he has heard that his friends has put it on TV. He means Freedom March. And Mavis, my God, you're about to leave the country and you're even to see your daddy? Man, I can't take this. Your father, Philip Johnson, he's crying. Mavis, have a heart, man. Don't mind your husband, okay? Before you go to the United States with him, go see Philip Johnson, all right? I was shocked when he's sending a message, all right? Papa Philip Johnson, Tifi U, Mavis Latusma, pardon, parce que m'a expliqué problème ou gain na TV. And Mavis pa vini la kaino. Mavis Latusma, you are pardon. It is wrong, Mavis, that your father is in Carmichael Road. And now that is a big thing, him being a Haitian, listen, we, the people who are descendant of Haitians, we are real people. And you should not treat him like that. Why are you want to say he is your father? Why are you shame? What is shame? Okay? But Mavis, moi-même, pas j'oublier. Pas j'oublier, you pas bon. And m'a mandé et désigné government pour dire, pas vini na et désigné. I just told Mavis, she's wrong. And I'm demanding that the United States government not allow her into the country. Because this is no way for her to deal with her father, Philip Johnson. That man, in order to protect you from discrimination, changed his wonderful French name to Philip Johnson. Look how you could tell people that you are Johnson because he sat back many years and say the Bahamians might discriminate against my children. So what I should do is anglicize my name. My God, Mavis, just because you got Sydney, eh? But Mavis, there's a God that we must answer. And the Bible say to honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land. I appeal to the Bahamian people to speak quietly with Mavis and tell Mavis, don't do that. Don't do that. You should not be ashamed of your father because he is a Haitian national. Man, stop being stupid. Most of us in this country, we are descendants of Haitians. All right? And I am happy to tell the world that I'm Haitian. I'm a Bahamian citizen, but I'm Haitian. And Mavis, you're wrong. You pardon. And silly pussy, moi dit, liquido.
Mr. Monica, are you assuming this? Or, I mean, because I'm trying to
Now,
figure out, how do you get involved with the former chairman of the FNM's wife's moral steps? I mean, this is a woman who...
She works at ICA.
Yeah, but...
You asked a question.
Yeah.
She works at ICA. And
Oh, God.
I have reason to believe that on behalf of the FNM, she's been trying to get ICA to interfere with me. But she did not
But
know.
that's not...
You don't tell me.
But don't attack her for that.
I'm
though.
not attacking
You're
her.
getting involved in her
I'm
personal life.
Her
Which I think is
father
unfair.
is, if your pa start complaining to me, let me give you an example. You remember when your daddy started complaining about you?
Yeah.
And I said to you, listen, go and take care of your father's business. Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, I expect you to say the same thing
I
to me.
know that's the moral and the right thing to
If
do.
you find out
And my conscience
that
will
I'm
let me
not
do it.
minding my wife, you're supposed to say to me, Monica,
Not
how you
publicly.
listen
Not
to me.
You don't do that publicly.
Listen
though.
to me.
I believe that's out of order.
If you find out that I'm putting ICA on you, then you say it publicly. Philip Johnson has appealed to me. All right? And all Philip Johnson did for her, he educated her, he got rid of his Haitian name. And Philip Johnson. And she going with Sydney, Mavis, SK, Ukune, Sydney, Pareme, Pep, moi, yo, Haïtien. M'a connais ça. Parce que moi, c'est grand monde garçon. Rodney Moncaire.
It's not fair to air her laundry out to the public like that.
What
though.
laundry?
Don't do that.
The
Mr.
daddy,
Monica. That's not fair.
the daddy has sent message to me. He said, Monica, she ain't come
so
yet.
you go to her one-on-one. Don't do it
I
publicly.
don't know her too well.
See that?
All right? All I know, she's not safe. She's not safe.
Ah, boy, what
Okay.
a time.
So I had to tell Mavis that. And then, of course, the Tribune is reporting that TB has broken out on Paradise Island. They discover one person with TB, and according to the Tribune, a security guard on Paradise Island has contracted tuberculosis, and 4 others have been exposed to the disease. How the heck the government has allowed that to happen? It's the tourism industry. Everybody's supposed to have health certificate. Huh? You better stop before you'll cause an American to get TB. And the next thing you know, there are no tourists.
You got an advisory.
What you think about that?
Yeah.
I think it's a very serious situation because, as you said, you can imagine a tourist comes, gets tuberculosis, goes home, and then it's discovered, and that hits the media in the United States.
Yeah.
That'd be a devastating blow to our tourism products. So we need to put whatever is in place. I full confidence in the doctors and the staff at PMH and the other institutions that they will get it under control. But we need to make sure that it hasn't spread any further and put whatever action needs to be put in place to make sure that we don't have an outbreak.
I demand that Dr. Dwayne Sands set up a clinic at the foot of the exiting bridge. And everybody who comes across that bridge, stop them and test them for TB. Because all the FNM is going to do is jack up tourism. All right? And I just negotiating with Japan for my little bus to put on my plate. All right? And I need these tourists to come. All right? I need the tourists to come. And the tourist who pays the best is from the United States. The tourist who tip you is from the United States. And Dr. Sands, I don't want them to catch TB. You understand that? Because I ain't buying no taxi and I can't make no living. My roof leaking. And I'm depending on the tourists.
So who's the Minister of Health?
Who's the Minister of Health?
Yeah.
Who's the Minister of Health? Who did I call? who name I call?
No, I'm just asking you who's
You
the
said
Minister of
the right
Health.
name.
Because this
You
is
said
his
the right
responsibility now.
Dr. Dwayne Sands ain't
Good.
get nobody no TB.
So we now...
No.
You misunderstood me.
No.
You misunderstood
I want
me.
you to understand me. I worked on Paradise Island for many years. And when the time came, management would say, health certificate. Right? And I had to go. They checked me for TB. When they reached a certain disease, I said, listen, I'm Wiley. I am not Wiley.
What disease is that?
Huh?
What the
I told them I'm not Wiley. I told them I was faithful and married. They said they don't care. All right?
But I think what he's trying to say is that it's time for Dr. Sands to get out of the operating theater and go over to Paradise Island to make sure that we don't have a serious case or epidemic over there with the tuberculosis.
Because it is
now,
serious.
you know, I support you, right?
Yes.
But I need him in the theater because he consulted. See, I declare my interest.
You ain't shooting straight.
Yes, I'm shooting straight. I'm a good shooter. I have to declare my interest. When I was almost to die, it was Dr. Dwayne Sands. My wife was sick. Dr. Dwayne Sands. The doctor, Dr. Moss, Kevin Moss, wonderful Christian man, and a doctor with a big name. They had to consult. Now, these nights, I could frop the woman.
Well, full disclosure, Mr. Monka, Dr. Dwayne Sands is also my doctor, and he's my wife's god brother. And so that's why I thought I, more than anyone, know the reason why he should have stayed in the hospital and out of politics. I tried to make it happen in Elizabeth, but it was not so.
I need him in politics. I wish you had beaten him, but I need him in politics. Papa has great plans for him. You follow?
Yes.
And Papa wants him in politics. You follow?
And
I want him in politics.
Unfortunately, Papa is in the leader on the side opposite right now.
Papa's chief of the village.
Well, I thought that Minister said the Ingram era is over.
Don't mind him. He will know that his era is over when Brave Davis buck him.
Okay.
At his Waterloo.
Now that's something we could agree on there.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have any text?
Advisor, you have any text?
Well, I don't have the house phone.
Where's the phone? Because the Negro people have asked me, where's the phone? Where's the phone?
I said they have 3 phones over there.
There are 3 phones here?
That's the house phone right there.
That's the house phone. This is powerful. And get it.
Okay. Here we go. Let me put my glasses on here so I can
as the
see.
spiritual put on his glasses.
Good evening, Mr. Monica. Can you wish my friend Justin a happy birthday coming from her friend Spoochie?
Spoochie say happy birthday, Joshua.
Mr. Monica, I'd like to know, how do I sponsor the show? I want my business to be on your segment.
Listen, I thank you. Come into the studio, ask for Brad Gibson. And they've been praying and fasting that the people them will sponsor the show. You are a blessed person. And I thank you. Go ahead, spiritual advisor.
Please tell Mr. Monica to advise BPL bosses to hold up on contracting out all of BPL work and try to do some real work with their own crews.
That is powerful. But something came to my memory. Will Frankie Campbell, the Minister of Transport and the outgoing Member of Parliament for Sutton Shore. 1. Who is Mara? And did you at Arawak Key ride with Mara surveying the land designed to get rid of the vendors, eh? Stop it! Stop it, Frankie! And Frankie, who is James Curling? Is James safe? Is he the same man whom my uncle, Forrester Bow, $8,000? Pay my uncle. If you don't pay my uncle pursuant to the court order, I'm going to tell the people some things about you, even though you had given me a truckload of sand. Okay?
Mr. Monica, send greetings out to Maisie Brathwaite and Devo Wells.
Maisie Brathwaite and
Devo Wells.
And Devo Wells, I send you greetings.
Mr. Monica, you could run on for the next 5 years, eh?
Monica, bring Mr. Campbell on your show on Monday. God Save the Queen by Graf. He's invited. I will not be hostile towards him. I would like to sit down with him, scrutinize him, and point out how he may save face, because I know he must obviously be embarrassed.
Spiritual advisor, because you're an F&M, you're blinded and will not see things for what they really are. If the situation was in reverse, you would have been shouting for an investigation had that been a PLP minister. This is not going away, spiritual advisor. That's what you want. It's not going away. The Bahamian people will not let this die. If that's what you want, it ain't going to happen. What
Senator,
are you talking about?
a tourist might have bought the TV on PI.
It's possible. Mr. Monica, if Dr. Dwayne Sands so good a surgeon, why did he perform a surgery
Be careful.
on a patient with a spine problem?
Be careful.
Okay.
Be careful.
Yeah,
All
let's
right?
leave that.
I don't want nobody to attacking him.
Let's leave that alone.
Obi Vilchcombe for chairman and Pakeisha Parker have to go. Fax her up, please.
Mr. Monica, you have the #1 talk show in the Bahamas. Please, your fans are great. I'd like to sponsor your show, Mr. Monica.
Please come in because I need sponsors. Mr. Monka, your spiritual advisor is not a patriot. He's a coward. You need to check him out. Listen, my spiritual advisor is a saved man. And, you know, sometimes he has to be concerned about what the FNM may do.
Mr. Monica, the government is stopping the cats from coming from Japan.
Cats? What is cats? Because I need some cats because I got plenty big rats. Happy 23rd birthday to Christopher Richardson Jr. from Mom Ellen Johnson, Father Christopher Richardson, Senior Sister Christelle, and Aunt Ada. Love you, CJ, and enjoy. Go ahead, my spiritual
Good afternoon, my good man. Please send a shout out to my aunt, one of the women them who watch Freedom March faithfully, and she loves you all with all her heart. She's 77 years old.
Aunt, we salute you. Did you give her the aunt name?
No, they didn't give her a name.
Hi, Mr. Monka. Threats of death is a very serious offense. This matter should be reported to the police immediately and have Mr. Villi arrested and brought before the courts. I agree with you, but I'm praying that he doesn't have to cost me to do so. Because Wayne Monroe told me, listen, let's file. And I said, oh, Wayne, hold on. I know him good. And I'm hoping that somebody would just talk sense to him.
Good evening. Blessings. Mr. Monica and Spiritual Advisor, crime is out of control. We need to get back to fundamental. Family, community, and God as well are the only things that can save us. A village raised a child, and God loves families to have a mother and father together to grow the land and the world. Mr. Monica, how do you feel about the thousands of people that the ministry of what ministry is trying to let go? Are they doing this from the request from Moody's? God save the Queen.
Well, they are influenced by the, what do you think of? The International Monetary
Fund.
That's
Yes.
IMF.
Yes.
They are. All right? 1,700 people. Boy, these people ain't got no heart, eh? I would tell the IMF, Licky do mama. And I would say to them, Ching Wong 42. And I'm not going to fire my people, but these Negroes, they don't love us. Take it from me. They do not love black people. Don't mind they black. They don't love us.
And you know, that's 1,700 people that go from employment and then be eligible for unemployment benefits and then social services assistance. So it'll still be a burden on the government.
Yeah.
I think it's better they find a way to keep those 1,700
Yeah.
people. And even if they have to move them around and put them in different positions, but keep them where they can earn a full week's pay for a full week's work.
Yeah.
Mr. Monica, the schools are in danger. The government shows favor in the appointments to leadership in the schools. Most of our leaders in these schools are weak bodies. The teachers are angry and do not support them. Pay teachers more money and be fair in all promotions.
And bring some men into the school. School need men.
True. You're right about that. It seems as if Mr. Monica, all Jeff Lloyd does is pontificate. Nothing more. He needs to humble himself.
Yeah, he's not safe.
Good afternoon. Birthday shout out to Miss Sharice Washington McKinney, coming from her.
Happy birthday, Cherise.
She's one of the women them.
You're one of the women them.
Right.
Listen, the clock is running down. You better talk, my brother.
Well,
Sure.
Mr. Munker, as we spoke about earlier, the PLP National Convention is coming up this coming Sunday with the prayer breakfast
Nobody
at
invited me.
7:30. Well, the prayer breakfast is 7:30
Am I invited?
at Admalia. Yes, you're invited.
I have to go to Mass.
Okay.
Mass end anytime between 8 and 8:30.
Okay. Well, if you come, then we should still be going on. It should be about 2.5 hours. So if you find the time, you can come. But
Why
then
you find the time?
but then
I'm coming.
we begin with full sessions the Monday morning.
Okay.
That will run all day. We go into the night with the night sessions as usual. You're invited to all of the night sessions, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We have nominations on Tuesday and elections on Wednesday. And I, of course, will be running for chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party. All my fellow PLPs out there, you know me as a deputy chairman from 2009. I helped to build the branches. I helped to build this party. I'm a faithful PLP. I've worked hard and tirelessly in the trenches. I've served as a candidate in 2 separate elections, and now I'm asking you to help me make that step up to chairman, because I think that I have what it takes to run the party, to rebuild, to rebrand, and to help us modernize.
Do you have a slogan? You have a slogan?
Well, my people told me to stick with the same thing. Sure with Store. You can be sure with Alex Store.
Let me help you with a slogan, so that they would know that he has my support. I say to delegates, vote for Alex. Yes, indeed. Alex, know what the people's need.
Oh, yes.
That's powerful, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Powerful.
Or we can even say Alex knows what the party needs.
Alex knows what the party and the people needs.
Yes.
This is powerful. Spiritual advisor, it's coming to the weekend. I always need you to speak to my people, the Negro people, because on weekends they tend to commit murders.
Yeah, Mr. Monkey, personally I like to say to all of the school students here in the Bahamas and to all those who are involved in gang violence, Jesus Christ makes a very powerful statement, and he says this: those who live by the sword will die by the sword. Leave room for God's wrath, my friend. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. I shall repay. We need to see if we can find better solutions to our conflict issues. It's obvious that we have a serious problem with our young people for some strange reason. They're not paying attention to the things that they should be paying attention to, and they are being attracted by gangs and violence. So the parents, a special message to you: we need to grab our people, grab our kids.
But we have a father who did it.
Right, we need to grab these students and teach them the right thing.
This father went to the government for help. Right? He said, listen, they can kill my child. They can target him. He can be a part of this scene. But Jeff Floyd does not have in place a policy whereby when the school reject, you could come to him, because he's been grandstanding. All right? And we see a situation where I'm a 60-year-old adult, Paul Billy, who is a personal general of the Prime Minister, right, who drives a government red plate, who is the manager of the whole of Arawak Key, is threatening to kill me or to have me killed. What example are we setting?
Right, so now how do we resolve this issue?
Well, we resolve it by prosecuting his backside to jail, and for me to go to the court to find out if he had complied with the court order, because I'm having a reason to believe that he may have misled me, so that I can make sure that the court order is carried out and he's arrested and taken straight to Her Majesty Prison. I'm going to check it. I accepted his word that he did what the court say. All right? Because they have been complaining that the police has refused to execute the judgment upon him and to take him to Her Majesty Prison because of his close association with the Prime Minister. And I say to Anthony Ferguson, when the police do that, that's gangsterism. When the police do that, that's Nazism. When the police do that, that's Gestapoism. Because the court order must always be obeyed over the politician. That's very important. Carl, I have your statement. I ain't got time to read it because my special guest, he will be given the last 2 minutes. Go ahead, Alex Starr.
Well, thank you again, Mr. Monka, for having me. So, at this upcoming convention, I'm asking all PLP delegates in Nassau, all starboard councillors, all those coming in from the Family Islands, to please vote for Alex Starr for national chairman. Yeah, like I said before, my work is known. You know, I was the deputy coordinator in the Elizabeth by-election. You saw how the PLP performed there. I've been the deputy chairman who's responsible for branches. I've been able to build the branches. I want to continue that work and to make sure that the party is successful in the upcoming general elections. You know, we have seen in 5 short months that this government is definitely not up to stack.
This
and
is
so we
powerful.
know that with Philip Brave Davis at the helm,
Wave your flag.
that we'll have a change in government in 2022.
Spiritual
And
advisor,
so
wave the
I
flag.
need you to make sure
Drop your
that
hand
everybody out there, that make sure that they show with Store, because Alex Store, say the slogan, Mr. Monker.
Vote for Store, yes indeed. Store knows what the PLP and the Bahamian people need. So, you're a great man. What color shirt is this? Is this gold?
This is a gold shirt, yes.
Wow. I yearn for one of these shirts. I wore my red shirt yesterday. You know, I'm F&M.
Yes.
But I'm struggling against corruption. Man, they corrupt. They all know that Frankie is not a citizen.
Wow.
And they're covering it up.
Wow.
Lisa Johnson, listen to me. Because I may come to the U.S. to speak to your Congress. So listen to me. These passports, they're compromised, Lisa. Lisa Johnson, it's compromised. Help me to stamp out this piece of corruption, Lisa. And that is what I ask. Come on, wave the flag, spiritual advisor. Come on. Can we hear the music? Oh, wave the flag. Yes. Yes.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Tell them.
Yes.
Have a great week.
Everybody have a great weekend,
Great
and I'll
and
see you all Sunday
advisor,
morning
wave
at
the
the prayer
flag.
breakfast.
You're so unpatriotic.
No, I'm waving the flag. Have a great weekend.
Yes. Let me just say hi to my mother-in-law, Brenda,
Tell
my
Brenda.
daughter, Alyssa, and my daughter, Alexandra, my son, Alex, and everybody else in the family that's watching. My wife, Nadia, if she was able to pick it up on the internet. Hello, Nadia.
Folks,
Peace and love.
take good care. Please tell Paul Vinny to leave me alone. Please.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.